Hello, everybody. Today we want to show you how to install an Cyberdise Freemium edition on a new environment. And yeah, I want to start with a short presentation to show, okay, what's going on and what is the prerequisites of that. And then I go into an hands-on. But before I want to introduce Nuai, Nuai, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Nurai. I am a marketing manager at Cyberdise, and hopefully, this webinar will be useful for those who want to try our solution in a freemium edition and yeah, enjoy.
Perfect. Yeah, and my name is Fabian. I'm co-founder and head of product of Cyberdise. Perfect. Let's start. Okay. Yeah. So today I want to show you how to install and set up a Cyberdise Premium Edition in around about 30 minutes, and so that you can do it in your environment with the webinar, and also I have hands-on in the appendix of the slides, so you can do it like I show you now in the session here. Before we begin, why we do it and what's the Cyberdise mission? So we are on a mission to build the universal simulation and training solution. So I'm happy to guide you through the installation, and then you are able to make people smarter and companies safer. So let's go ahead. We have different editions of Cyberdise editions. So it's the freemium is the free edition, and then we have an essential and business and the premium edition with different feature sets to get a good overview and to get a feeling of the product. It's easiest to start with the freemium, and then if you think, okay, it's more valuable for you to get another edition, then you can upgrade it to the editions you want. So to download the freemium edition, the free edition, it's very easy. You just have to go to our website, cyberdise.io, and then in the upper side, you see the freemium edition. And if you click on the freemium edition, you have to fill out a form where you just say, hey, what's your name, email address, and then you get a link on your email address so that you can download the manual for the freemium, and with that you are able to install the freemium edition. What's the architecture and prerequisites of the freemium? So if you do it in a smaller environment, it's very easy to do. So I here in this environment today, I have a local Ubuntu machine to install it on it. But it's also possible to do it in an broader environment, like in if you want to install it in the cloud, or if you have a Kubernetes cluster, it's also possible to install it there. So just today for the demo here and the webinar, I install it on premise on my PC. I have installed an Ubuntu 24.04 edition. It's a plain installation. It's just the standard installation. And then I will start from there to install the Cyberdise Premium Edition. And here also the prerequisites on what you can also see on our in our installation manual on our websites. So if you scale up, or if you just have more than 600 users, then you also get information about the hardware and the hardware requirements to scale up to your environment. But have in mind the freemium edition is limited to 600 users right now. And of course, you need an administration or root access to your machine to install it, right? So let's start with the hands-on. So I switch to my console. Here my Ubuntu console. It's yeah, like I said, it's an Ubuntu system. It's an really default installation. Create just a user, and I starting now to log. Or I'm logged on, and now I go into the root mode, enter the password, and so we created and we start now to create the environment. Started with creating a user. So I take a user, it's called Cyberdise, what we see here. And so I add this user to the system. Then I starting to give the user a password. It's yeah, so that you can log on with them. Let's do it here. And after that, and the password has updated successfully, so we can start to install the default Docker environment. That's then the first step here, that you get the Docker and the packages of the Docker. It's also showed and described in the manual on the Docker page, and our install environment and installation manual give the link to the Docker documentation page. So we start here to install the UID map and the DBS user session and starting to install the packages. So if it's started, we also can check if the user has the right sub UID and GUID. It's important that it has subordinated number there so that we can check if it's right created in the system. So it should be more than 65,536. So Cyberdise user is above. And we can also check the group ID for that. And it also above 65,536. So with that, we continue the installation. For get a better overview, I will clear the screen here to get more to get it better for you to follow. So starting with the next packages, it's now the certificates. And after that, we bring in the key rings and put it to the APT. So if this done, we also put the sources, the installed sources from Docker to the system. And then we get the whites on the Docker AAC. And after that, we also put the DPKs to the right things there to also put the source into it. So, and if we have done this, we starting with the now with the Docker installation. So before we get that, we do an update of the source list so that we see, okay, if everything are up to date, and then we can start with the packages that we need for the Docker and starting the Docker installation here. So it will just so, and if we have done this, we have now created a user and installed the Docker environment. To check if the Docker environment runs well, we can just starting to run Docker in the Hello World container to see if everything is fine. So I will do it to see, and it shows, okay, hello from Docker. So the environment running correctly, and so we can go on with the next step of the installation. For that, I will clear the screen again to give you a better overview. So to install Docker and Cyberdise environment, we are secure company and security first. So we want to install Docker and Cyberdise in a rootless environment so that we have less vulnerability in the system. So we're starting to reconfigure the main Docker installation. For that, we now go here and disabled it on the root shell. And so we also go here and remove the socket in the variable shell. With that, so we have disabled Docker on root, and now we firstly log onto the Cyberdise user shell. We do it with the machine CTL and with our user that we create. So we say machine shell, and then we connect to the Cyberdise account. And there we start right now the Docker rootless setup. It's just here to install it. And after we see right now here it's running and it shows correctly installed. So we are good here to get the info and all the points. So for the environment, we have to put some variables into the bash that we do next. It's just for variables. We have it also in the manual. So yeah, just copy. And for that, we also have some point here that I will show you. Oh, sorry for that. And if we, and the next variable we have to see here because it's at the end of the installation, it shows, okay, on what socket and user ID the Docker sock is running. So we take this and also export it to the shell. So the point is here, the 1001, it's running here, so we put it here. And then we finished with the first step of the Docker rootless installation. And now we have to log out of the user shell and go to the root shell again. And now we have to do some configuration settings in the config file. So we started with the rootless script. We go there and go into the Docker rootless script and go down to the point here. It's the rootless kit, and here we change the port driver. It's by default the built-in. We need for the installation and for running Docker in rootless mode, we need another driver, what we enter here. And we also want that we can do loopback on the host connecting the database. So we say, okay, not disable it and put it here. That's the two configuration we have to do here. So we save it and exit it again. And so with that, we have finished the first step. After that, we have to edit the sysctl conf. I will do it also here. And so here we have to do two things again. I go down here and show you where it is. So let me see. Here we have to enable this, and also we have to put in a second row. It's for IP unprivileged port start, and that's the two things we have to edit here, and then also save it and exit this file. So now we have do the configuration for that. So we have installed Docker in a rootless environment. We have added the configuration files so that it can run. What we need now is if we restart the system now, Docker will not start automatically. So it's for maintenance reason. It's could be better that if you have an auto update or something like that, the Docker start in the user and in the rootless environment automatically, and that we want to do now right now. So I clear the screen again, and then I will put the user in the mode that the environment will start automatically in the rootless mode. So we have to enter this command and to check if it's also enabled login. We see here, okay, it's right now, yes. So we did the right things. Now the environment will start automatically. So with that, we can also check if everything is right in the user shell. Let's check here, switch to the user shell with my user that's called Cyberdise, and also check again the server status. And yeah, it's running, it's enabled, and it looks good for that. So with that, we have finished the Docker installation, and next step will be to install the Cyberdise environment. For that, I shortly log out and reboot the system. So it just take few seconds, and yeah, after that it will start again. So here we are again. Perfect. Right now we are in the system again. I will log on in the root, and now I will starting to install Cyberdise environment. For that, I will create a directory in the OPT. And so after that, we now have to configure two files for Cyberdise in the directory. The first file we have to create is an .env file. So I go into the file, and we have also on the manual installation page, we have the parameters for that. I put it here, and that's important, then we have to put in the IP address of the system. So here you see it here in the upper. It's, oh, sorry for that, I don't have. So let me check. My monop wasn't enabled. Okay. So we put it here. We'll put it here also. So make it easy. And then we have to enter a password for the database. So I take a secure password for that. And after that, I save the file and exit. So now we have created the first file. The second file that we have to put into the Cyberdise directory is the composer file. So Docker Compose. I can download it, so we prepare it and have it on our webpage. Here for the environment, I just go here and create the file and also take it with a copy paste from the web page and put it here so that we have all the things in the file. And then I say save and exit. So with that, we have created the configuration script and the files and the variables of the system. Now we go here and give the read write to the directory for the Cyberdise user. And after that, we are finished on the root shell and can switch again to the user. For that, I will clear the screen and then again go to the user side. And with that, we go now into the directory where we give the right that the user can access and read. And right now, we starting to get the Docker files from Cyberdise. So we log on into the Cyberdise environment. This information also shared on our webpage. So we log on the Cyberdise Docker environment. And then we're starting to download the environment for the Freemium edition. So that will just take a few seconds. In the meantime, it's running here. All the steps that I show right now, I have put here in the hands-on appendix of the presentation, so you can go through. And with that, you're also able to install the Docker environment and give you a good overview about how it's working. So now it downloads the Docker environment, and with the Docker environment, the database and the application will be downloaded. It's taking a few seconds, as I said before, and after that we have just do a few steps for the running environment and then to have a running Cyberdise system to create campaigns, etc. Nurai, do you have any questions or comments at the moment?
Yeah, maybe we could add one note. So we will not cover how to create campaigns in this webinar, but you can always check out our another video run by Paulo Stacco, which is called Mastering Awareness Campaigns, where you can check how to do that when you install the Freemium.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. Yes, and the reason is also we have with the installation and it's completed, you get a machine ID and you have to activate your license over the support request. So after that, you can use the system. It takes it takes here sometimes in a few minutes or an hour, and we don't want to wait so long here in the webinar. So we are near to finish the installation. It's 9 from 10 is running, and the database container is just the last one who is downloading and creating. So, and now we see the installation, all is created, it's healthy and it started. So it shows good. And so what we have done right now is we create a user, we put the user and the variables of the systems in a rootless mode. We download in the rootless user the Cyberdise Docker environment, and right now we need to merge this so that the configuration we did before with the env file with our IP address to put it into the Docker environment. And that is what we do right now. So we started to put what we did and migrate it to our environment here locally. There we have to enter this commands. And so this was for the app Docker container. And now we're starting for the database Docker container. We also do the same. And if we did this, we are mostly finished with the installation. What we right now do is, if we want to use the system, as I mentioned before, we have to send the machine ID to Cyberdise so that we can activate your license. And to get the machine ID, you have to enter this command. And then with that, you get the machine ID. That's this one. And you have to copy this. And after that, you can put it into an support request on our page, and then you will get an activation email from our support that your environment is now activated. So that was almost to install the freemium. Right now, we can check on the web page if it's already running. So let's check it. Here, if you mention or if you see before, I don't have entered a domain name here. I just put the IP address in it. So I have to connect with the IP address. And I have no certificates right now added. So I just go here with no official certificates, but the system running and is ready to sign in. But we don't have a user right now, right? So we have to create a user. And that's, again, something we have to do in the shell and in the user environment. So to make it really easy to create a user, we have one command for that. It's here, Docker command that creates the first admin user. And to run this command, you get the username and a password. And that's also important to copy and to save so that you can log into the system first, and then you can change also the password and create new users, what we will see right now. So I run the command and I get a user and password. So I copy it and put it here on my text file. And then with that, I switch to my web page again. And let's see if we can log into the system. So it was test, and it was a very secure password for that. Copy paste and then sign in. And so we are here right in the system, in the Cyberdise system. So right now we can edit here the user to get a new password, or we can also create a new admin so that we use this admin. So I just create a new one. I say here and say Cyberdise administrator, and give them a password and say save. And right now, so it's created. So I have here another user that I can log in. So, and with this, we have installed the freemium environment from Cyberdise. So we have different settings here. If you have multi-tenants, you can tenants. We have templates and modules. So it's right empty here because we don't have activate the license right now. And just to see the settings, you can also then go into the system and change the IP address, or here change the system domain. If you have a full qualified domain name, you can do this. And so you can go through the settings. Also, if you want to enter your email settings, you can do it here. And in the editions, you just have, it's not activated. Otherwise, you will see editions and also the accounts. So, and yeah, that was it in a 30-minute webinar to show you how to install a Freemium edition. Yeah, happy to show you. And if you have any questions or yeah, or want to have additional information, or if there was something yeah, that you want to know right now, please email us or yeah, send us question. Thanks a lot for your time and to joining and to seeing this webinar.